Who wore it better? Welcome to Action Unwind. I'm Drew. This is Dean. And on today's episode, it's all Valaverse Action Force.
Action Force. Yeah. I think we covered a little bit in season 1. We're back. We're going to dedicate an episode here to Valaverse and the line Action Force. Lots of good things happening.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan simply because, as everyone that follows us knows, I'm a big G.I. Joe Classified fan, and it's just great to have another line to throw in and mix and match in with my G.I. Joe Classified. So Valaverse,
Interchangeable groups.
yeah, absolutely. Creating new groups on the shelf, some
Mercenary
mercenaries,
swapping and stuff.
yeah, some cool looking stuff that you can do. But what they're doing over at Valaverse is fantastic, right?
I gotta say, yeah, like when I started to kind of change my, understanding of the toy market and what's out there, Valaverse is one of the newer companies that was brought to me by you, especially Action Force specifically. And man, Bobby Vala, thank you for stepping up. I'm always curious what it's like on the back end of, hey, I have this idea, I want to start something, and will it work out? And I mean, I'm happy to say my opinion. I think it's working out great.
Yeah.
Innovation, they're pushing the limits. And the big thing, too, that I appreciate about the team over at Valaverse with the Action Force that I've seen is you're listening. It really feels like a figure brand for, enthusiasts, for people who like your brand. Instagram posts and stuff with updates or changes and interchangeable parts. It goes a long way.
I certainly feel like they're not afraid to fall on their sword, right? Something happens, something out of Bobby's hands, right? Manufacturing, production, things happen. The latest way they came out, there was some different kind of joint issues, some colors that weren't matching properly, and it kind of just made up for it and shipped it out to anybody who had already bought that had these defects with their figures and shipped this over free. The Vanguard, for example, too.
Yeah.
Right? Vanguard shows up.
Was it the
A
turret?
lot of people were loving it.
Yeah.
The one negative thing was that the turret wasn't going up. It didn't have a lot of good articulation, and there was a new kind of attachment pivot point that would move that thing around and get a bit more mobility. So pretty cool.
One thing that I want to just quickly chat about is kind of our first figures with Valaverse. So me getting into it, go through the catalog. It's a new line to me. Maybe I'll buy one. Maybe I'll buy two.
What'd you buy? Two? What'd you buy?
I ended up buying one to start. And I had to buy this one because he's quite a handsome devil, to say the least. I had to buy the first copy of Trigger. I thought just the fact that he had a full beard with a backwards hat, it seems silly, but until this point, I hadn't really seen any figures with head sculpts like that. I thought the gear he came with was cool. I've got him with the Vanguard machine gun here. And I love the figure. I know he's got a reissue we can maybe get out here.
Red beard and hat. Kind of hitting on the emotional strings there. Little interconnection.
It takes me back to my days and, when I was in shape, not a shape.
I missed them. And you know what's crazy is that one thing I want to say is that we all know that the aftermarket is just crazy.
It is.
And,
it's bananas.
Valaverse only pumped out so many. And if you miss the boat on wave 1, wave 2, kind of hard to come by. And if you do want to get them, secondary market is pretty pricey.
It's unreal.
So I was kind of fighting the urge because, like I see many lines do, there's a reissue. We've seen Hasbro do it with Marvel, right? Sorry, Mattel?
Mattel. Yeah. Well, and Hasbro's done it too.
One of them.
I mean, yeah.
They've all done re-releases, and eventually it's going to come. You know who's a big, what's the word I'm looking for? A company that does do that is Mattel with wrestling.
Yeah.
There's so many aftermarket, secondary market figures that are selling for hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
And now they've just re-released all the ones
do the
that
from
were
the vault, right?
From the vault, but and better articulation, butterfly. So they're improving them. So patience is key, and patience was key for me as we get back to Trigger. With I really wanted him. I thought he was fantastic, but I didn't want to go and pay
He was up to like I think $200 or something.
It was something
Canadian market.
So brings us to
you were
your
quite
point.
a dent.
This is reissue. This is it, and kind of some nice little add-ons to them, right? Like the palette color for the camo pants, a little bit darker, more of a brown and tan as opposed to the green and tan. Then they give him this delicious looking tattoo on the right shoulder. I mean, didn't need be needed, but whatever. I'll take it. It's cool. But I'm digging it. Trigger is one that I definitely wanted, and there's again different comments and love or hate for the head pack that just came out.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan. For some reason, in all the pictures you see, the head pack, it looks like Trigger sees his dentist regularly. Like it's very bright, very white, and it looks odd. But in hand and on the figure, it looks awesome.
Yeah. And another thing too, like in our season 1 when we first talked about Valaverse, that was actually the line that I had said like. I would love to see some screaming heads from these guys, and then they come out of the gate and they do it, and here's the thing too is it's not just you're spending a certain amount of money for the one head. It comes in a head pack, which is very cool. I like that it's a kit. I like that it comes with a couple different versatile heads and stuff. Yeah. You got Condor's camo screaming head in there, which I love. That's a must buy.
Rollout's got a head in there. There's a few others.
Another thing I want to say about Trigger 2 that I like is, and I don't know if this was a decision from feedback. I don't know if this was a decision from maybe just the team at Valaverse, but I found that this trigger that I had, the first one, the hands and the plastic overall was a lot harder. And it was a little nerve-wracking getting some of the guns into the hands and stuff like that. Where this new reissue, it seems like the plastic has a bit more of a give. It's a bit softer. So I don't know if they changed the plastics, but I think it's a good call.
All the vests feel softer too. Like it was tough. Like you could easily take the vests off the first wave.
Getting them back
my
on.
Condor, for example, I still can't get the pegs back in. I'll probably use some warm water and they'll get back in there for sure. But we'll get to it. But the newest wave that came out, malleable is the word.
Malleable.
Softer, more malleable. Like it's great. Easy to get the vest on and off if you need for all your figure photography, as you're saying, right? Like
absolutely.
It just it ramps it up. So, and speaking of figure photography, if you want to put that one back for 1 sec, I love just like the things that you can do with them, right? Like we're big on just kind of again getting away from the custom a little bit, more kit bashing, and I love that you're using the big machine gun that comes
from the Vanguard.
Also, just throwing the dog tags on them from what figures are from?
Those dog tags came from the Wolverine X-Men Origins Wolverine, awesome. The jeans and tank top one.
I love it. I think I just sent you something recently where I'd have to go back and take a look, and we'll find it. We'll tag it down below. But there was a guy online that sells what's the word? Tattoos for figures.
Is it like a decal?
It's like a decal, but it's like like a water decal.
I would love to sleeve up an entire arm. That'd be
unreal. I saw some guy post and had these like really cool like flaming skulls on one. So like, there's things you can start doing with these figures, and not to take away from how great the figures are already, because I will say
you make them your own.
They're awesome, but
they give you the palette to kind of build something off of. And another thing too that I love with it sounds you hear universal platform with vehicle companies and stuff. Now it's built on. I love that the Valaverse kind of universal model, with the exception of a couple figures. The majority of them are coming with double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, ankle pivot, butterfly joints, and an array of hands and the weapons. The weapons are great. I remember when you first got was it like an Action Force weapon pack? It was like a kit and like the blast effects and everything. I just find that really cool, and like just little things too. Even the fact Trigger's machine gun or Eclipse's AR here, the clips come out. You know what I mean? They store into the armor. Like that goes a long way with when I'm collecting figures.
And we see that get even better as the waves go on. Exactly. Which we'll get to. So anyway, that's Trigger. That's version 1, version 2.
While we're talking about version 1s, versions 2s. Do you want to grab your Pandora?
I would love to grab my Pandora.
Okay. Oh, aggressive. So Dean's going to grab his, which is the OG Pandora.
First release.
There she is. I wanted this figure as soon as I saw it. I thought it was badass. I thought it was very cool. I love the way that the guns are stored and just the overall look. And I mean, the haircut's unreal too. This is like a Trigger story swap. He got the first issue. I missed the first issue, sold out all over. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just wait and don't want to rush it. And again, same thing with the aftermarket. I ended up getting the reissue. A little bit different color denim on the pants.
Oh, new jeans, new Johns.
Making your new pants blue. And you'll notice too the gear's different. So I actually I use this Pandora with my Operation Monster Force line, and she stands beside Van Helsing with the Phantom Corp. Which is kind of like a tactical military group for OMF. And I just think she's badass. I think she suits the role. And so I wanted a bit more of a heavier gear for her.
Yep.
So I got the Action Force female desert armor kit.
And just touch on that. I love that they have male and female kits. Because,
and they fit the figure unreal.
I will say that these female figures are almost more badass than the male figures in the line, and I'm super happy they're putting that detail in and giving you the same options and giving you the packs that actually will fit snug and fit properly. So
absolutely. So beyond excited to get my Pandora, I love her. I like that the changes are there, but it's not necessary. I don't mind a reissue. I get frustrated when a reissue comes out and it's pretty much like a whole step up from the other figure.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, now I got to buy one and all that. But sticking with female figures, one figure that I got before Pandora, actually, I'm just going to swap her over here, was my Eclipse.
Yeah, that Eclipse.
So this figure, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, mine. Has to be mine. The arm tattoo is incredible. I love that she comes with 3 different heads right out of the pack. The gear, the gunmetal gray is unreal. I don't have it with her right now, but she's got those, like, they almost look like rock climbing things, they've got like a scythe on them.
Yeah.
They're super intimidating. I usually have her posed hanging off the side of my Vanguard, and she's just like, blast effects, going to war. Love it.
Yeah, back to your point just about the screaming heads. I love it because, for any of those that are into figure photography, when you have like kind of a battle scene or whatever, and you just have a straight face figure, it doesn't feel very realistic.
Yeah.
But when you have somebody holding an AR or whatever
or something,
and they're lighting somebody up, they're probably screaming, they're probably making an action face, and that's it. And I love that we're getting them for all the figures.
And talking about holding ARs and stuff, I would love to chat. He was in your top 10. I don't remember what number.
Oh, don't spoil it.
But this guy right here, this guy right here.
Sidewinder, I will say that is one of my...
What is going on with the grenade storage? It's unreal. One
of my absolute favorite figures from 2024 that I picked up. And I also had a little something I had through the badge on from some Marvel figure.
Jimmy. He's from WandaVision.
Yeah. And I just picked him up.
I can't remember his name, to be honest.
I think I spent like $30 just for the police badge because I thought it was an awesome piece that I could throw on some figures. Anyway, Sidewinder, when I first saw the newest wave come out, Colonel Siege, Atlas, there's a whole bunch of guys that I thought were going to take my money first. And I just thought, maybe this time, as you said, I'm just going to get one and I'll get the rest for sure, but I'm going to throw Sidewinder out there and get them. And honestly, this figure blew me away. From everything from the Honey Badger that he's got to the vest, again, softer rrubber, easy to take on and off.
That's a gun, the Honey Badger.
The Honey Badger.
It doesn't come with an actual Honey Badger.
I don't call Sidewinder the Honey Badger. That's what my wife calls me. But this is an unreal figure. He's a Sidewinder. He's got this wicked kind of snake tattoo up his forearm, and then it goes up his neck, which is really cool. The addition
He's got an excellent fade.
Yeah, the flashbangs, the grenades that are can come out of the vest, and as you said earlier, the clips, like there's different mags. There's 3 on his vest, 1 in the actual chamber of the gun. This figure is absolutely incredible, and I always have him on my shelf posed with Ruckus, the pit bull from Road Pig. I just think that these two would be kind of a badass team together, and I like posing them together like this. So
he's too new for a Screaming Head, right? Like that Screaming Head pack is kind of the Gen 1.
Correct.
So
he just came out. I'm hoping it does.
This guy with a screaming head with grenade in hand. Yeah, like I can only imagine the pictures. That'd
got
be
a sweet pistol with a silencer, and all the figures come with so many additional hands, which is great. There's that hand pack that just came out as well, right?
Yeah.
The hand pack with the OKs, the fingers.
The fingers, yeah.
The middle fingers, there's a lot of those that have come out that I know a lot of fans probably want for a lot of different pictures as well. But Sidewinder is an absolute, sleeper. Like, get this figure as soon as you can.
And I remember you were kind of when you first told me about the new wave coming out, he wasn't even on the discussion.
Yeah.
Like he was just. What were the other two that were the ones that you were showing me?
Colonel Siege and Atlas. Atlas was my number one pick because I thought he was just
those
super
are the two.
cool as the driver for the Vanguard.
Okay.
I thought he would be great for that. But my brother ended up getting those two first, so it kind of gave me the ability to kind of see them in hand. I'm like, oh, they're really cool. I am going to get them, but maybe I'll just take a chance and get Sidewinder first. And then I'll add those and I'm happy.
Yeah, I remember you calling me and being like, dude, this Sidewinder is crazy. And I was kind of like, Sidewinder? Like I wasn't even aware of who he was when I came over. Loved him.
The new wave is fantastic. Those are in it. There's a new kind of just regular soldier. He's got a kind of a new gear pack that you can throw on him.
Are you talking about like Garrison Cavalry and all that?
There's Garrison Cavalry that's out. That's a reissue like with Trigger. And
that's another one I want to get.
New, kind of just a new soldier, kind of just generic soldier they usually come out with that looks awesome. There's an add-on loadout pack for him as well. And then a new loadout. I don't know what they're on, but they, alpha, beta, all that. I forget which letter they're on, but that pack looks awesome too. It has like a flamethrower with it and all that. So these are great. And then with that is the one that you're excited about.
The Crimson Shadow Praetorian. That one.
Thing looks unreal.
Bobby, who designed it? I need their name, and I would like to send them a high five emoji.
Yeah.
That is right up Drew's alley. That figure is like...
It's cool.
RoboCop's unhinged cousin.
The second I saw it...
What is that blade thing that he comes with?
I know.
And he holds it under his arm.
Yeah.
Like...
I'm sure that.
I'm out of breath.
I'm sure that figure.
But
I'm sure that figure needs nothing. But the first thing in my mind is it would be such a cool body to put Major Blood's head on, because it's kind of like Cyborg, because he's already got that robotic arm. Because he's gone the full way now. He's lost the full body, full head. That's it. But that one, is awesome.
That one will probably be a figure victory. Gemini's another one. I would like to get the Bone Collector reissue, but man,
there she is.
That Crimson Shadow, going to be unhinged. Let's talk Gemini, man. This figure is so sick.
Yeah, Gemini is unreal. When I first saw her, I thought like, oh, she's got this like kind of wicked head and face profile that like she just might be sitting up with the Dreadnoughts. So it's pretty cool. But then like she's obviously on the good guy team. So anyway, she's awesome. I think she's great. Again, just another sleeper. I made a post on kind of my social media just with my figure photography and just put one of the Joe's helmets made her look like Tank Girl from the old 90s movie, if any of you are that old. Anyway, she's great. Again, all the articulation, all the bells and whistles that come with her. I think she's another just wicked figure that comes with. And I think for you, as we've spoken about, where you're going to go with this.
So this figure, I don't have her yet. I'm going to have her. Again, and again, it's no shot to Action Force. I love it, but I do love my Operation Monster Force. I will be getting a Gemini for my Valaverse Action Force. And I will also be getting a secondary Gemini. And I'm going to change out some gear. And if you guys remember the Hela from Hasbro from Marvel Legends, and I can't remember off the top of my head which one it was. Thor's sister, and I think it was the Ragnarok release where she came with 3 different heads. And so she's got the spiked Hela head, and then she has 2 heads where one is hair slicked back, and another one's hair kind of unhinged, and she looks really kind of messed up and like aggressive. I'm going to take that head, put it on the Gemini body. The skin tones match perfectly. Nice. And I'm going to have her actually probably stand with my Declan Van Helsing and be another leader for possibly the Delta Reds or the Nocturnals. It's going to be... Oh, no. Pandora ain't going anywhere. I ain't picking a fight with her. She's got a tattoo on the back of her head. That's aggression.
One of my favorite pickups of the last little while that is from Wave 1 that I've been just kind of patiently waiting for the right time, the right deal. Finally got him, and I'm sure there'll be a reissue coming as well. And he came with the Screaming Head right out the gate. And he actually came with 2 different heads. Duster was wicked because I saw a picture online at one point where someone did this custom van and he's running up beside the van with his like handgun, like he's trying to pull it over, and there's like a bad guy driving.
Yeah.
From that I had it hooked. I was like, oh, that's such a cool shot to take, and I bet it's be a pretty sweet figure.
I do love his vest pack and like the radio on the back with the antenna.
Yeah,
I think that goes a long way.
The heads are so different, right? Like this one comes with, like the Screaming Head. He's got the Fu Manchu, and then the other head is like clean shaven.
The mustache is the winner for sure. It's intimidating.
The other one just kind of looks like he should be behind a desk, and he's kind of a front patrol police officer.
It's a Duster.
But Duster is fantastic. Again, he follows a lot of the same kind of guideline as the original Wave, where the vests are similar. And again, as you can see, later waves are getting away from a bit more variants to what they're wearing, but this one's wearing a lot of the good stuff that the first wave wore, different gun on him, and anyway, I'm happy to have him in my collection. He's, again, just another guy that can stand beside Sidewinder looking like they're this kind of rogue team that can go in and...
Or like a smaller unit. Team,
yeah, exactly. I'm loving it. And
I would love very, very much... we've got Vanguards. Maybe we'll chat some Vanguards a bit more. Sure. Do you want to get yours up here for time being?
Let's do it.
Vanguard, I think, is to come out of the gate, and this is Action Force's first vehicle. To come out of the gate with this vehicle, man, like, hats off. Like, it's very much a staple in a lot of people's collection now. The versatility, they could have just brought out the vehicle, and people have been like, sick. But it's got versatile changing parts and stuff too. The door's open, and it holds 6-inch figures really well. Yeah. If this is an indicator to the caliber of what they can do, I can't wait. Like, will there be ATVs? Will there be motorcycles? Will there be, like, will they get to a Dragonfly-sized helicopter or something? Like, I think that they're capable of doing it. I think this thing crushes the winch on the front. And like just the fact that they have like the handrails, the foot pegs so you can stand on. And then there's also, what's that kit that you sent the other day? With like the different armor on the glass and the plow.
There's add-ons coming for this thing.
Yeah, like
the cow catcher on the front.
Absolutely wild.
Yeah, I mean, this is hit anybody in the fields that collected Joe's or other lines as a kid where you had vehicles and you could put multiple figures in. Like, you always wanted to have a vehicle you can just load them up, and to have that in 6-inch version is pretty cool. So yeah, 2 in the back, 2 in the front, gunner up top. I got the Night Brigade figure up top. You can put 1 figure in the back with the machine gun that you saw earlier on Trigger.
Cool, yeah.
All of that's pretty wicked. I think it's a home run. Great job by the Valaverse team getting us a vehicle that is awesome. And as mentioned, with the additions on top, you have the extra. Oh no, I think we have the same gun on top, but there is the rocket launcher that also came out at the same time that we both have as well. But I like what you've done with yours too.
So the doors come off.
Yeah.
And they come off easy. What I'm curious about, when they bring out a vehicle, I'm always kind of like, okay, does this have a higher purpose down the road? But the trailer hitch.
Something's coming.
And it seems like, okay, like, it seems like it serves a purpose. Yeah. And my brain's been going crazy. Like, is it a trailer? Is it like something that connects on the back that comes up onto the top? I don't know. But they've absolutely like set a very nice standard for vehicles. I love having it on the shelf.
Yeah.
See if it will go back properly.
I know we both went gray, but there's the tan version, and then they also did the special edition.
The
breast
pink
cancer,
one?
The breast cancer version one.
And then aren't they re-releasing them with mud effects?
Yeah. Then there's those two with the mud effects, which I almost wish I was patient because it would have been cool to get the one with mud effects. But either way, I'm happy with the one we have. And that's the Vanguard. Okay, you made a comment earlier, Spec Ops.
Spec Ops,
This is another figure that I think a lot of people missed the boat on and are
It was gone.
And I've
never seen it in stock since.
Right place, right time. I got my hands on one. I don't have the Spec Ops gear just yet, but I will try to find it. There's a female version of this figure as well. Just really cool, very Splinter Cell-esque.
Yes.
There's other gear packs you can get. There's a security pack that's a bit more of a gray, but the Spec Ops, it's all black. It just looks like it's a Night Force style figure. I will grab that at some point, but really happy to add this one to my collection. And again, hoping that Bobby's here in the crowd out there and we get a re-release. And
I will be getting the re-release for the record,
for sure,
Bobby.
Signed up already.
But another thing that I love too with these kind of, I don't want to say generic figures, but these non-identifying figures is you can put a Condor head on, you can put a Trigger head on, you could have an Action Force Night Force, you could have a Desert Force Action Force. Like, I do love that they offer these types of molds, these types of bodies.
Yeah, the Night Brigade figure that I have, I usually put Blowback's head onto that, or Desert Rat, because Desert Rat's one of my favorite figures as well. So
absolutely.
The real, I guess, main bad guys right now are Karak and Bone Collector.
Yeah.
And there was a re-release for Bone Collector, really cool, kind of a ram head instead of the kind of badger skull, beaver skull that's on him right now, the long fangs.
Skull.
Which is still a great figure.
Those beavers will get you.
They'll get you. The other ones I'm missing that I can't wait to get is I need to find still Rollout and Kill Switch, which I'm very excited to add in because, again, came in a little bit late, missed the majority of Wave 1, but I'm on the hunt.
We only have so much budget, you got to prioritize. It's what it comes down to, right?
Can't wait to get them and add them to my collection as well, and then the rest of the latest wave as well. So,
real quick, before we put a pin in it, what is something that Action Force needs for you? What's a want from Dean? From Action Unwind, what do you want to see from Action Force?
Yeah, I mean,
they're doing some cool stuff. What's next?
Probably could have said some things for sure before I got the first figure from the latest wave. But one of the things I would always love to see is, if you take Colonel Siege, for example, that's out, interchangeable arms, which is a cool figure, right? Because if you were to take his vest off, arms wouldn't match because they're matching to the jacket.
Interesting.
And like any wave, not just from Action Force, because the things are great, but I would love to see some figures start doing that. Some lines start doing that where if you take the sweater off, the jacket off, there's interchangeable arms so that it matches once the jacket off as well.
Very cool.
That would be something that would be pretty cool for me.
Unreal. For me, and I think, again, there might be lines that are already doing this and stuff, but I look at kind of the weapon packs and the blast effects that come with these figures. I really think that Valaverse's Action Force could do some cool. I talked about it on some other episodes too. I think they'd be pretty good at doing some like blast effects, like explosions. Like especially you have a figure like Sidewinder. He's decked out in grenades and stuff too. Like, give us some good-sized explosions and stuff. I don't know what that looks like. Maybe it's shrapnel mixed into it and stuff too. But like, I can only imagine how cool it would be to have the Vanguard, with some explosions behind it or below it and stuff. I'd like to see them do that.
Maybe some special packs where it's like a kind of a bunker pack or something. That comes with that because they're doing some great loadouts with the guns and the gun packs. Now the head backs, the hand backs. So I think they'll probably see that from these guys. But it's a good point too.
And I do wonder too if down the road we will see some more like spec ops or desert kits in the sense of like you're buying not necessarily 4 packs, but maybe they'll release Pandora and the whole team all in a certain type of attire, and then they'll release it in like a Night Force version looking style or something. I don't know.
We'll see. We have Eclipse, and then who's the new guy? There's a BBTS exclusive. He's part of the latest wave.
I can't remember his name, but I know which one you're talking about. He's got katanas and like kind of a samurai vibe.
Helmet. Yeah. Also, probably some more sidekicks, manuals, right?
Yeah,
I love seeing it.
Maybe an actual honey badger.
Yeah, maybe a honey badger to come with the honey badger. Yeah. No. Anyway, everything is going great. Bobby Valaverse Action Force. Check him out. Thanks so much for putting out a great product, and we're excited to see what comes next.
Excited for the future. Like we always say, thank you for taking the time to unwind with us, and we'll see you on the next one.